Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's a great morning. My name is Bill Testerman, and I'm a member of the board here at QUUF. Welcome into this day with Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, a liberal religious congregation founded in 1976 and bound together to serve freedom, caring community, and social justice. So as we gather, I do acknowledge that the water, land, and shorelines here in Port Townsend are the traditional territory of the S'Klallam and Chimicum people. We honor and acknowledge our indigenous members and neighbors and vow to help restore and sustain these communities. If you're visiting us today, I offer a special welcome and invite you to join us for refreshments and conversation in the fellowship hall after the service. We have a newcomers table right at the patio doors where the greeters are ready to see you and answer any questions you might have. So may we offer you to be in equal measure to the ones in our hearts. We pause briefly to do some essential business of the congregation. Sign up for the Thanksgiving potluck. If you plan to attend, please sign up for what you would like to bring. The sign-up poster will be in the foyer. After the service, sign up, stop by during the week, or call. Now, I welcome one of the stars of the auction to give us some auction news.
I have been talking to this parrot for weeks. It still won't talk. Thank you. Yes, I know. Just when you thought it was safe to go back to church. All right, well, ahoy, mates. Captain Sparrow back once again. Along with my old friend Cotton's parrot there. So I want to thank all of you for making Friday night's event remarkable. If you were there, you knew. If you weren't there, you'll be there next year, I'm sure. Thanks to the volunteers, thanks to the hosts, thanks to everybody who raised a paddle. It was a red carpet event. There we go. Or too much. And it was orchestrated by talented hosts, with great music, an epic slideshow, 5 raffle baskets. Oh, and I forgot to say, and these are the amazing volunteers. It goes on and on and on. It's quite the list. Thank you for all of that. We had the dessert dash, we had fun, we had fellowship and friends. Who could ask for anything more? Now, some of you may have noticed the magnificent treasure still out in the fellowship hall. Think it can't be yours? Think again. The bidding still goes on. Did anybody get up at 3 in the morning on Saturday night and add another 0? I think somebody might. So, the bidding is going to go on all the way through 6 p.m. today, so don't be shy. Don't be shy. I believe the kayak is still available, along with so many other things. Do I have a list of things that we have here? Thank you. No, it's coming on. All right. Oh, yes. We have workshops. We have interesting and even useful items, I'm told. Extraordinary excursions, all till 6 p.m. today. Okay, a bit of housekeeping. If you donated to the auction, you will receive an email telling you who won your donation. If you made a winning bid on one or more items, you'll get an email after the conclusion of the auction telling you who won. And if you won a material item versus an immaterial item, if you won something you can pick up versus an experience, then please pick that up in the foyer this week on either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday between 10 and 1. The auction team would be very grateful. All right, so once again, thank you. It was a fabulous night. We can't wait to see the total. I can't wait to see the whole total, and we're going to hold off on that till after 6 o'clock, so you've got time. QUF is a spiritual home. It's a social justice mover. It's a vibrant community. We just want to be here for the community and for the future. So your generous support of the auction helps make that happen, and you can still go through 6 o'clock. So thank you all. Can I have my parrot back? Very good. So we'll see you all next year, perhaps. Thank you.
Wow, okay. Let us settle our minds and our hearts.
Good morning. We light today's chalice with these words from our interim minister, Don Rollins. We worship because we must. And we must because we want to testify to life and love as though this were our last day on earth. We want to call upon the stars. We want to give voice to our deepest sorrows and heal our deepest secrets. So here we are with one another, waiting to give and receive grace in abundance. For this is the very essence of worship, surrendering before a presence we can barely describe, believing only in believing, and knowing to our bones that that's enough. We light this flame in surrender to that holy presence. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in our opening hymn.
I'm going to sing the first verse through once, and then we'll all sing it together. You can sing with it if you want. But we get to sing the first verse twice, okay? Where
Now is the time for all ages. Reverend Don's spouse, Mary Bracy, is a fine storyteller. Here's an original story titled Ant and Grasshopper Revisited.
Good morning. My name is Mary, and I'm Don's wife. I'd like to tell you a retelling of a story you've probably heard before. It's called The Ant and the Grasshopper. Once there was a beautiful meadow where the flowers bloomed and the willows leaned over the rushing waters. And in this meadow lived a very industrious group of ants and a very talented grasshopper. The ants started in early spring, working hard as they could to get their crops planted. And the grasshopper started in early spring, working as hard as he could to play his fiddle. The ants kept telling the grasshopper, "You better get busy. You better get to work before fall gets here. You'll have nothing to eat this winter." The grasshopper said, I am. And the ants would just shake their heads at him. Well, summer came, the ants' crops grew tall, and the grasshopper played his fiddle all day long while the ants worked. There was one ant in particular who loved the sound of the grasshopper's fiddle. It made the day go by so quick. And so he started talking to the grasshopper. And he found out that the grasshopper had worked many years to become as good at the fiddle as he was. And the ant thanked him for playing while he worked. Well, fall came, and the ants were harvesting all of their food and taking it down inside their anthill. And the grasshopper fiddled all day long, no matter what the weather, so they would have something to listen to while they worked. Some of the older ants would say, "Tisk, tisk, tisk. You've done no work all year, and now you'll have nothing to eat this winter." The grasshopper kept playing. And then it was finally time for the ants to go down into their anthill for the winter. And the young ant who had become friends with the grasshopper said, "But why don't we invite the grasshopper down?" The other ant said, "He's done no work this year. He doesn't deserve to come down and share our food that we've worked so hard for." And the young grasshopper said, But he's played for us." And, "Oh, no, no, no," the other ants interrupted. So the ant said goodbye to his friend, the grasshopper, and followed the other ants into the hill. And as he was going down, the grasshopper ran up to him and said, "Would you please take my fiddle down with you? That way it won't get cold or wet in the wintertime." The ant hugged his friend and took the fiddle down. Well, the weather started to get cold, and the ants started to get bored. Well, the young ant said, "Well, if you think it's so easy to play the fiddle, I'll play it for you." And he started playing, and the noise was not at all like the music that the grasshopper played. And the other ant said, "No, no, please stop." He said, "We miss the grasshopper's music." And the young ant said, "Do you know how long and hard he worked to be able to play that beautiful music for us? Do you know that he stood out in the rain every day to play for us while we worked?" Well, the other ants felt pretty bad about that. And they told him to go up and get his friend. So the ant went up, and there was the grasshopper covering himself with leaves to try and stay warm. And the ant said, "Please come down with us, grasshopper. Please." The grasshopper smiled, followed his friend down into the anthill. The ants gave the grasshopper his fiddle back and said, "We're sorry, grasshopper. We didn't realize the gift you were giving us by playing music for us all the time that we were working. Would you play music for us again? He smiled, and he started to play. The moral of this is, everybody's gifts don't look the same. Everybody's work don't look the same. So take the gifts that you have in this life and give those gifts to others. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Please form an arch along the center aisle and we'll sing our children out.
We pause now for a time of generosity and to receive an offering which today goes to the gathering place. We invite the speaker up. That is Linda Ferries, the director and the founder of the gathering place, and Christy Lapoon.
Good morning, and it's always a great pleasure to come here and speak to you. I know many of you from the farmers market and other places around town. Gathering Place actually was founded 31 years ago. Our daughter Megan was the inspiration for Gathering Place. She was pretty severely disabled, didn't speak much, and didn't walk till she was 4. But we came to Port Townsend because there was a great teacher here. And in Seattle, where we were, they didn't really know what to do with people with disabilities way back in 52, 3 years ago. So we found a great teacher here named Jim Westall. Some of you probably still know who he is. He's gone, but he was amazing. So we never left Port Townsend after that, and I said, well, what do we do now? Let's just start a little group of 4 people. And Megan and I went down to Olympia and applied for a nonprofit on July 11th, 1994. So this is our 31st year, and we have made it that far with only donations, private funding, and the products that we have made to sell. And you might be familiar with our Port Townsend calendar. The new one is out, 32nd edition. And you can find us at the farmers market, or there's several stores around town that will carry the market, or even online. You can buy it online. The other product that we now make as a job training program are our yummy organic dog biscuits. And they are yummy because we do sample them. There's only about 5 flavors, but our favorite is peanut butter and applesauce or cheese and bacon. There's also salmon, lamb, and, well, we have mixed, and chicken. So if you want to check those out, they're around stores as well. And these sales really help us promote our program. And we also have puppets. These actually fund our entire summer program. Our former art teacher, Loretta Frost, if any of you know her, she is amazing, and she creates these puppets. And she talks to all the people at the farmers market, and they're just great. And I wanted to say that there are probably 17 people who now come to Gathering Place. Over the years, we've probably had 300 come through our program. And we've got 6 staff members, and we have quite a few volunteers. So I invited Christy to come today to talk, and she is one of our super volunteers, always ready to help many days a week.
And Linda invited me here, and I went in my head, what am I going to say? But honestly, it's easy to speak about Gathering Place. The opening remarks here, the song, it just all resonated to me because we all don't look the same. We are not all the same, and we all have different strengths. And I would say if I had to, as a volunteer, summarize what volunteering at Gathering Place is, it's about joy, honestly. And it brings me to tears, so please forgive me. It's a place that's safe for the folks that come there to be themselves. I love going into Gathering Place and volunteering because as soon as I step in, all the world's chaos and problems, all my personal problems are behind me. And I'm with folks that don't judge me for my disheveled hair, my mismatched clothing, whatever I'm wearing. There's no judgment there. It's really pure joy. The participants are learning life skills, coping skills. We're chopping vegetables in a safe way. Not everybody can do it because they don't have the movement, but we all participate together to make healthy meals, yummy meals for us. We do art, so we tap into their creative minds, and it's amazing the paintings that we have that show up in this calendar, but we have hundreds, I would say, of we go through a lot of paint. And so the fundraising is really important for our supplies and now for having a building. But I would say, please, if you think about a need for having some pure joy, come volunteer with us. On Fridays, we make these dog biscuits. It's a lot of fun. And if anything, it's an enrichment program for volunteers. For me, I've learned so much from spending quality time with the special group that comes to Gathering Place. So from a volunteer's perspective, it's joy, and I guess that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yep.
Thank you. The ushers will come among us to receive the offering, and additional ways for giving will be projected. Please join me in our offering words. Is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life within, we affirm our lives within it. The offertory today is This O World, an American folk tune from Southern Harmony, and it's sung by our wonderful choir.
This whole world is full of sorrow, full of sickness, weak and sore. If you love your neighbor truly,
This time is set aside to share joys and sorrows. We recognize that our personal joys and sorrows are only a fragment of the joys and sorrows of the larger community of life. And thus we place this first stone, thinking in particular of all the airline travelers who are stranded or had to cancel their plans. And now within the congregation, we light this candle of gratitude for all of you who volunteered for, attended, contributed to, celebrated the auction event on Friday night. It was a wonderful evening, and we couldn't have done it without all of you. We light a candle this morning for QUUF member Renee Moe, who has moved into senior assisted living in Gig Harbor. Renee, we miss you, and we wish you well. The office has Renee's new address if you wish to stay in touch. We light this candle for Cher DeWeese, who just had her second total knee replacement in 5 months out of necessity. She appreciates your positive thoughts for a gentle and quick recovery. And we place a final stone, holding in our hearts the joys and sorrows I've just shared, but also thinking of such joys and sorrows among us that are unexpressed but of no less importance.
Hello, everyone. If we haven't met, my name is Don Rollins, and I do serve the congregation as accredited interim minister. This is our quiet time. This is a space for all of us, whether your life is hectic or burdened, your life feels lonely or empty. This is your time. This is time for all of us, whatever the states of our soul. Today's auction meditation comes to us from Unitarian Universalist minister Victoria Stafford. It's titled Map of the Journey in Progress. It reminds us that we are all, one and all, exchangers. We exchange our youth for adulthood, time for money, health for illness, and in the end, we exchange death for life. So friends, we are all exchangers. So find whatever position feels right for you. Maybe close your eyes, find a focal point. And as I read, I'm going to make room for silence. I ask you to take these moments, reflect on changes in your life and journey. Think of those times when by chance or by choice, you had to exchange one life for another. You could not be who you were, but now who are you? So think about those times when you surrendered and received, and surrendered and received. How you exchanged the one for the other. Let's settle in. Here is where I found my voice, and I chose to be brave. Here's a place where I forgave someone against my better judgment, and I survived that. And unexpectedly, amazingly, I became wiser. Here's where I was once forgiven, was ready for once in my life to receive forgiveness and to be transformed. And I survived that also. I lived to tell the tale. And this is the place where I said no, more loudly than I thought I ever could. And everybody stared, but I said no loudly anyway, because I knew it must be said. And those staring settled into harmless, ineffective grumbling over me. They had no power anymore. And here's a time, and here's another, when I laid down my fear and I walked right into it, right up to my neck into that roiling water. Here's where cruelty taught me something. And here's where I was first astonished by the gratuitous compassion, and I knew it for the miracle it was, the requirement it is. It was a trembling time. And here, much later, is where I returned the blessing clumsily. It wasn't hard, but I was unaccustomed. And it cycled around as best I could and sent it back on out, passed that gift along. The circular motion, around and round, has no apparent end. Here's a place, a murky puddle where I have stumbled more than once and fallen. I don't know yet what there is to learn there. And on this site, I was outraged, and the rage sustains me still. It clarifies my seeing. And here's where something caught me, a warm breeze in late winter, birdsong in late summer. Here's where I was told that something was wrong with my eyes, that I see the world strangely. And here's where I said, yes, I know, and I walk in beauty. Here's where I began to look with my own eyes and listen with my own ears and sing my own song, shaky as it is. And here is where, if by a surgeon's knife, my heart was opened up, and here, and here, and here, and here. These are the landmarks of conversion.
Our special music this morning is Prayer of the Children, sung by our own choir.
With no more tears to
Joining us this morning, please welcome Reverend Don Rollins, our interim minister.
I swear I did. Okay.
So we're good now?
So
Okay.
we're good.
There are ghosts in the machine. So, again, good morning, everybody. Thanks as always for being with us, especially those of you who are in the sanctuary and online. If you're with us for the first time and wondering what is going on here, we're marking the last few hours of QUUF's annual auction. I'm speaking quicker for time. Not just the event, but the deeper meaning, what it means to be a giver and a receiver all our lives. Quick note, if we're going to be running late here, so if you need to leave on the hour, that's okay. If you have children to pick up or youth you want to meet, that's extra okay. So do what you have to do here. As always, let's begin with a growing up in here, southeastern Ohio story. Bill Smith, not his name, but fittingly the same B as, was a born auctioneer. He was an excellent square dance caller, but Bill was made to run an auction. He was a natural. Bill was a natural liar. If you were moving off the farm for a house in town, you called Bill. If you were getting long in the tooth and you needed a smaller place, Bill was your go-to. If your grandma died and you needed somebody to take care of the estate sale, nobody did estate sales like old Bob. Friends, the guy was smooth, but he was also a first-class embellisher of truth. He wasn't selling or getting lowballed. Bill would make up a story about its history. And he would do it on the spot. Things like, that's not any old tractor. It was used by George Washington to plow for cherry trees. That's not just a 1937 Dodge pickup. It towed the Mickey Mouse float during the 1955 Parade of Roses. And my personal favorite, those 16 bales of hay over there are history come to life. They were once slept on by Ulysses S. Grant in the Army of the Potomac on their way to fight Hitler in the Arctic. The dude could lie. Bill was a born auctioneer. He was a good-natured fibber. Although I'm sure it never crossed his mind, Bill was really a broker in giving and receiving. Somebody had something to offer, another saw worth. A transaction had taken place. Something had been exchanged. In our religious context, we call that covenanting. From you I receive, to you I give. This is not a contract between us. This is not if you do X, I will do Y. This is just a simple exchange of souls. This is where we give. This is where we receive. There is an ancient Chinese proverb that captured exchange at its simplest. At birth, we bring nothing with us. At death, we take nothing away. That's the deal, friends. In between those two, we exchange because we're exchangers. What happens in between birth and death is an opportunity after opportunity for exchanging as a way of life. We want to master the fine art of sharing what we have with somebody else. That's why we do our heart work. We do forgiveness work. We do grief work. That's us working on us so we can do what we do to be a better human today than yesterday, that we will be better givers and better receivers. This is what we mean when we say we're paying things forward. All the work we do in ourselves, this is us trying to make the best use of the time we have been given, the resources we have been given, the people we have been given. This is us making our best use of what's been given to us. We're trying to be givers and not takers alone. Exchanging. Exchanging is not a solitary way of life. Witness your auction. Funny thing about receiving and giving, like the auction, is they make for good community. They are bonding. They can be fun. They can be serious. They can be loving. They can be rough. And here I'm not talking about the easy groupthink community, the kind where we all get along, but the kind where giving and receiving are gritty and they're messy and they're born of shared hardship and trust. That's the kind of communal giving and receiving I believe is behind your auction. I'm going to shorten this a little bit. I'm going to make it quick. At least one more good story. You're gonna love this. This one is excerpted from Brian Jones. He is senior pastor at Christ Church Way of the Valley, an evangelical congregation in Philadelphia. It's titled Biker Wedding. Warning, it's a little salty for a Sunday morning because maybe you and I travel in different circles, but you're going to thank me later. Here's what he had to tell us. I performed more wedding ceremonies than I can count. There is one wedding that I will never forget. A woman who was not connected with our church had begged me to officiate her wedding. Please, she pleaded, it's going to be a small ceremony, just friends and family at our house. And when I showed up on the day of the ceremony, dozens of choppers were parked in the front yard. Men with long handlebar mustaches wore black leather jackets covered with leather straps and German-style helmets with spikes on top. The people streamed into the house with a case of beer in one hand, a food dish in the other. Inside, I was greeted by heavy metal music and a haze of cigarette smoke. A woman noticed that I was the only one wearing a suit and screamed over the music, "You must be the pastor. Take a seat. We'll start in a moment." I looked around for a chair, and soon after I sat down, the best man stumbled into the chair next to me. Did I say, by the way, I was once a drug alcohol counselor? 40 minutes and 5 beers later, the bride's sister called everyone to the living room. A few guys propped the best man up against the wall. Somebody hit the tape player, that time, Misty Mountain Hop by Led Zeppelin. And I quickly delivered my standard wedding sermon and pronounced the couple husband and wife, and then somebody screamed, "Let's party." Within seconds, it was on. Everyone in the room swarmed the couple with smiles and hugs and kisses. I waited my turn in line to congratulate them and then explained I needed to leave. But the father of the bride overheard me, grabbed my arm and yelled, "Let's make a toast." And somebody handed out bottles of vodka and wine. Did I say I was once? Okay. The bride said, "I want to make a toast myself. I want to toast you guys. You're just like family to me." She looked over to her maid of honor and said, "Jackie, you are just like a sister." And Jackie immediately stopped her and said, "No, you've always been like a sister to me." With her arms around the bride's neck, she sobbed, "Do you remember when I lost my baby 3 years ago? I wouldn't have made it without you." And then she turned to the group and said, "Or without all of you. I wanted to die. You gave me a reason to live." The bride continued, "Richard, when my brother passed away, you were there for me. You were driving a rig across country, but you still came over every weekend." And someone interrupted her. "You've been there for us too. When I lost my job, you brought groceries over to my house and brought school clothes for my kids. I'll never forget that." This went on for 10 minutes. People shared stories of friends in the group who helped them buy cars when they couldn't get to work or watch their children when they were in a pinch. One man told how 2 guys in the room picked him up from jail, let him live with them until he was able to afford his own place. And everybody finished, and the bride looked around the room. She lifted her beer and said to friends, I looked around the room and thought, church should be like this. And I say church should be like this. And I say again now, giving and receiving are the cornerstones of our lives. They are the cornerstones of genuine community, liberal, conservative, somewhere in between. Because earned trust and unrelenting love do not respect those neat boxes we so easily construct and then make it so hard to pry open. And I say to you on the end of this story, trust is trust, love is love. Let's party. So here's to the trustful, loving, giving, receiving, experience otherwise known as your annual auction. Blessings on all who helped, in particular Christina Tweed, without whom this thing would have been pure chaos and half the fun. So I say to you, happy giving, happy receiving, happy exchanging.
Our closing hymn is 402, From You I Receive. Please rise in body or spirit.
It's
And-
it's real short, so we'll sing it once, melody only, and 2 more times make up some harmony.
Thank you so much. You too.
We close this time together with a blessing written by our interim minister, Don. So it is now for us to go back into this world of giving and receiving. As you leave the embrace of these people, may you meet the week with a little stronger than when you came. Cherish that new strength for the journey, and then spin it out and share a little bit of it with every creature that comes your way. Be a receiver of grace, be a giver of love, and may you be a vessel for life. Please join us in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish our flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, or the power of transformation. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
The battle of Jericho, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, 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 Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down. The battle of Jericho, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. Jericho, Jericho, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down. The battle of Jericho, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. Talk about the kings of Gideon, talk about the men of Saul, talk about my good old Joshua at the battle of Jericho. That morning, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down. The battle of Jericho, Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. Right up to the walls of Jericho, he marched with spear in hand. Go, that grand horn, Joshua cried. The battle ends in my hand. God Almighty, then the